Hi, I'm JD Engelbrecht, Managing Director at Everlytic, South Africa's leading multi-channel bulk and automation-driven digital communications platform. You are an individual with unique needs, hopes, dreams, context, budget, and timing. Brands can have one-on-one unique relationships with each of us using automation platforms such as Everlytic. Imagine having an employee who knows each of your, let's say, 100,000 customers. They know their full data profiles, what they bought, how frequently they did, and each of the segments and characteristics you've attached to each of the customers. They can then segment these customers on the fly, assigning them to dynamic communication programs you've designed based on any number of qualifying criteria or events. They then customize each of the messages using personalization of content based on who the message is for, the context of it, stitching together a unique message for everyone. They do this across email, SMS, automated voice, web, and app push notifications, and other direct channels. They then deliver these messages to the right customers at the right time and track each message sent to your customers and consider each engagement with the content to kick off the next best message. They can even test and compare variations to see which is best and thereby optimize your campaigns. They listen to each change in the data profile of each of the customers to understand and keep track of each customer's context to know what message to send next. Simply put, that is the power of marketing automation. Let's quickly consider a basic customer lifecycle from prospect to onboarding, retention, and win back. The communication need states through each of these stages are different. Each has exit and entry criteria. You have sequential messages and calls to action you want to land. And if customers don't engage, you want to try again, maybe switch channel, likely following a least cost approach. When customers do what you want in any stage, then you would probably want to move them off of the program and onto a next one. Consider starting with a prospect, and let's use the structure of a tree as an analogy. A new prospect enters your program. This entry criteria represents the tree trunk. Your program then sprouts branches. Example, if the prospect was a customer previously, you treat them differently than if they were entirely new to you. You then have 2 branches. Each branch sprouts further limbs, as you might send an email, which if not opened, you would like to send an SMS. And if the link in the SMS isn't opened, you may want to go onto an automated voice call, for example. This pattern continues for each message, creating another branch. At any time, should your data show the prospect had become a customer, you would want to move them off of the prospect program and move them onto the onboarding one, where you have a sequential series of content introducing the value, again branching as required based on changes in the data and engagement. And once the customer graduates this program to your specifications, they would be moved off of it and onto the retention program. Here you might want to create a listener that when the number of days since the last purchase is larger than 14 days, you might automatically fire a message containing the most recent product recommendations for each of the customers. If they buy again, the number would reset in your data, and when it reaches 14 again, it fires off the most recent recommendations. If the customer hadn't bought in, let's say, 60 days, you might want to assume that they had churned, in which case you want to fire off a win-back series containing special discounts or vouchers. Should they convert again, they would fall back into the retention cycle and it continues automatically and dynamically. Similarly, if the customer buys very frequently, you might want to ask them for a review. The possibilities are endless. It starts with good data and it starts off very simply. It then expands in complexity and value to become a true marketing asset and an extension of your team. The great news is that this technology is available to you today. Everlytic is a local provider with local support, and we've developed a globally competitive automation stack to complement our market-leading bulk communications platform. We've made it simple to use and it's affordable. Let's get you going.